Welcome to the video, everyone. Before we start, a big shout out to our sponsors for today. FOCO. If you don't know what FOCO is, this is what FOCO is. This is what FOCO is.
That is what FOCO is behind his head as well.
Click the link. Check out FOCO. If you use the code cftvyt, 15, you get a 15% discount. They got some really good stuff. Lots of funky gear. Very nice. Little Hawaiian shirt.
Love it.
Check it out.
Yes, guys, welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. So, very recently, there's been a bit of a situation. Todd Boehly and Clearlake. Basically, Boehly thought he had a lot more to say, but Clearlake sort of disagreed. And really, it's just a little bit... it's all a mess, isn't it? So I thought today we'll dive in and get a nice video out there. So first of all, it's tensioners. They both just really, they both just don't really understand it, do they? And it's not the players' fault. The players are going to feel so much pressure now. Like, a Chelsea captain, how are they going to feel? How are they supposed to captain this side onto victory and all on success when they can't even, when the owners can't even sort it out? Chelsea are in a civil war. The owners are in a civil war. They're in a cold war. They're in like a Falklands war. Like, it's hard to find who's in the right. But I think I'll explain it later. Who is in the right? Yeah, the owners can't work with Tuchel or the fans, or even each other. It's a joke. Like, I don't know how they get given all this ownership and stuff. And obviously, Roman Abramovich, who left not under his own terms, he said the owner's got to be there for 10 years. And until that runs out, which is going to be a very long 10 years, probably going to feel like 50, we can then the owners can book a flight home if they actually care about the club, and they just leave out the door. But yeah, I want to go through now, it's been about 2 minutes, some common myths about the ownership. First of all, they didn't know each other before. In fact, they did business together. I don't know that much detail, but all I know is they did business together. Second myth, and the last one as well, Boehly runs a club. No, like, he and some 6 Clearlake run it, and it's a bit of a mess really, because like, it's quite hard to dive in and deep in and like on the ownership, because quite honestly we don't know half the details. Recently I watched a video about Boehly talking about Tuchel, and I think the sort of vibe I was getting, he didn't feel on the same page. They didn't feel on the same page as each other, but then Clearlake aren't doing the same. It just doesn't make sense, and I think that anybody that goes Chelsea home and away, game after game, would know that, like, if the owners got on that well, then to me it just sort of adds up, and I feel like I've had a bit of a blind eye for quite a while, to be honest, and like, it just feels a bit like a mess. Personally, I feel really frustrated. I feel upset. I feel disgusted, really. Like, say what you want, Boehly in, Boehly out, Clearlake in, Clearlake out. You can say what you want, but I think the facts and the proof say that Boehly has probably underwhelmed us a little bit, and so Clearlake. But then, and the question I have for you, which is what I really want to hear from the comment section, so please leave a comment down below, is that, like, first of all, Clearlake, it's hard to blame 7 different people for one decision made, or 2 decisions made, or even more. Like, it's just, I know we all know Boehly's like the face of Clearlake, but there's others that I couldn't tell who. Although, as much as I'm a diehard Chelsea fan, I've got better things to do than search all their names up, because there's about 100 of them. Obviously exaggerated a little bit, but it's just a joke really, and I think that we can all be we can all have our own opinions, but like I think it's all run a bit like a mess, and I think that the owners have messed up personally. I think Boehly is shocked how the fans have turned on him. One thing I'd personally say is football is very different to what he's done. He's very successful in other sports, so I think that he says that's the reason why he doesn't go to many games. And do you know what? I think Boehly grow up. Absolutely go and grow up, because like, what did you expect? Football's a sport where like you have one team. I mean, for most passionate fans at least, or you might have a little local club, but most diehard fans that go to every game like me, you have one team, you follow, you chant, you get involved, and you proper love your club. And like, with like in like NFL and all the other things, it's not really work. It don't really work. Like, the passion's different. I mean, I don't need to dive into all the American football chants, and it's a bit embarrassing if we're gonna be blatantly honest. At least they're enjoying themselves, but like, it's just very different to what he's done before, and I think that he was never gonna hit the spotlight running straight away. I think it's quite a hard and bad task to ask him to do, but I think that you just need to look at reality, and you need to look at the fact where he's disappointed. He's disappointed bad. Like, the ownership is crumbling. Like the relationship is crumbling. Like, between like everyone, and I feel like the fans, there's been some sort of conflict, and I've gone, why are we arguing with each other? So if I was to give one advice to many match going fans, would be just support the team no matter what. We all know it's dreadful. You can't really expect the players to go and get Champions League football when the owners can't even sort it out. It's embarrassing. Got lots of young players and it sends a wrong message, and I'm very upset about that. But we move on. But yeah, like, I think obviously in the away games there's a lot more negativity towards the owners, what I'm sort of noticing. So Bournemouth will be very interesting. Personally, what side am I on? I mean, people are saying they're on Roman's side, which I don't really blame them. I'm on both sides, no, but I think he has been tied up in a knot a little bit, or I think he's just misunderstood. I think he thought he had a lot and pretty much a final say, which isn't really how it's turned out to be with Clearlake. Being there, of course, Boehly wanted Neymar, he wanted Osimhen, and he wants big names. I think at one point he wanted Ronaldo as well, which was quite a joke at the time, to be honest. When Clearlake want to focus more on the youth, although Boehly does say he cares about the youth, but he wants a few experienced players, which is correct by Boehly, but when he suggested like Ronaldo especially, and even Neymar, it's just a bit cut one now. I think with Sancho signing wash players isn't really a thing. Like, I know with like Hullet, he was reaching sort of the end of the career when we bought him and some more players, but I don't think with a manager, I don't think Maresca's going to sort Sancho out, so I think that was a bit of a weird manager choice. And I just think that Boehly didn't know what he was coming in for. I think Boehly expected how the club would go, and it just hasn't really happened. You got to feel some sympathy for Boehly. I think he's been tied up in knots, contrary to his own beliefs. And then Clearlake, I think we all know all the decisions may have been a joke, or most of them at least. Two good signings, Palmer, Gusto, Saicedo, but like how much we paid for him was not worth it. I would have much rather somebody that maybe isn't as good, with a similar ceiling, a bit cheaper. And I feel like overpaying for players isn't the right message you want to see. I just think some of the decisions have been a little bit dodgy, to be honest. And I think that, like, I don't want to ramble on for too much, because I know that's what I've been doing most of this time. But like, I just think that you gotta. I just think a bit more level. I don't know the word, level maybe, of like the transfers and who we're bringing in, because I think you go to like the Saicedo deal. We could have got him a lot cheaper, but we screwed up. We waited for longer. I feel like we're paying a lot more money on transfer fees and even wages to some extent than we should be, because we're wasting time. We've wasted time with Osimhen. So I feel like now I'm Boehly and I'm Clearlake out. personally. I know they can't leave for a little while. So, the end of the day, as much as we don't like to say it, us fans have got to get on with it. Get on with it and be treated like absolute... I don't even know the word. But, and then hopefully, I think it's 2032 or something like that, when the owners can leave. I don't know if one of them can leave now, I'm not too sure, but 2032 when the owners can leave, we can have a party. And yeah, I mean, but it's been me from Chelsea Fan Team. My name's Jacob. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment on how you think the situation's gone. I think a lot of it's by opinion because the facts aren't out there that much. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, sub obviously, and up the chills. And I'll put my scarf somewhere. I'll put it here. Somebody save the day. # we want Roman back. Up chills.